Welcome back, everybody. Episode 56 with Crash Course, along with head coach Mike Rivera of the NA team and Mr. Diego De La Garma. How are you, Diego?
Hey, Corey. How are you? Hey,
Good.
Mike, how are you?
Welcome to El Paso again, man.
Thank you. I'm loving it.
I know you made a trip up here for, certain reasons, and thought we'd have you on the show, man.
Yeah, good to be here. Just sharing a little bit.
You get to see a couple practices. We're going to talk a little bit of NA hockey and what's going around the building, and then we'll kind of jump into your situation and what you got going on in Mexico with the national teams.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Mikey, big weekend. Oh, hang on. Just pull the mic down a little bit. There you go. How's that? Mikey, big weekend. Well, split, but Saturday was huge.
Yeah, maybe the biggest 2 points of the season, honestly.
I would go with that.
Yeah, and just the way we got it, too.
Short lineup. Obviously, you guys got some suspensions on Friday night and some guys hurt. And Saturday, we, put a lineup together, which you guys did a great job with that. And it worked out, man. Yeah,
no, it was tough. I mean, on Friday, obviously, the outcome is not something we liked. We lost the game really in 43 seconds.
Yeah,
is what it broke down to. The first goal was like 14 seconds apart, and the second one was, whatever the difference is right there, right? So we talked about the importance of playing 60 minutes, and 59 and 17 seconds isn't enough, clearly, because you lose a game in 43 seconds. And we were in the driver's seat. We had the lead. One of their guys hit one of our guys, and then we, took out one of their guys at center ice with a big hit, clean hit.
Yeah.
And so a couple guys had to answer the bell, and we had a little rumble on the ice.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one of those in a while, so I was, like some of the guys are like, sorry, coach, because they got suspended or kicked out of the game, and it's like, man, sometimes you just have to, and I felt like we needed it.
Yeah.
So,
it was good. Like, the fans certainly liked it. I go back to the old, we don't want to see fighting in hockey, but yet everybody's watching it like this. You know what I mean? Like it's, it's violent. Well, then why are you watching it? But everybody wants to see it. You know what I mean?
Part of the game.
Part of the game, man. And you taking it out. But that's a topic for a different day.
Real quick on that, though. Part of the problem with why that even transpired, officiating.
Yeah.
If he would have made a couple calls, we told him that he was losing control, and he got pissed at us for saying that. And
well, I would too.
And then all of a sudden, we have 3 fights on the ice, and I tell him, like, man, that's on you. I said, if you can't control it, we will. And that's exactly what happened.
Right. There's some good fights.
There was. Yeah.
You know what I mean? The one, I don't know who it was, but it seemed like a minute.
The one in center ice?
Yeah.
That was Kimball's fight.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, Kimball won't go down. That's the
No.
problem. His jersey was over his head, and he still was swinging.
Yeah, he was. And but like, you see that win, lose or draw. As long as you show up, you win.
That's right.
And he did a good job. Obviously, he gets the gene from his old man, but he does a good job when he does it.
Yeah, and Coffee and
Cough, yeah.
And then Hinch. Hinch has been. I've had his gloves glued to his hands, and he was just itching. He's like, I had to, and I was like, it's all right, man. Just he's got the capability. It's just we need him on the ice too. So,
but did it spark for Saturday night? Yeah, maybe it did.
Yeah.
You can't argue it.
It definitely set the tone when they're a potential playoff matchup.
100%, and it'll be a good one for sure. We just got to get there, which is why this weekend is so flipping huge.
Yeah.
So mathematically, there's possibilities to do mathematically, but if we win if we get 2 points out of the next potential 8, we're good.
Yep.
So big weekend. Let's just get out. Let's control our own destiny. That's the best way to do it.
Yes. 61's the magic number.
61's the magic number. So we'll see. Guys are obviously practice today was good. Yesterday was good. Obviously tomorrow's going to be a big one too. I know Corpus is coming in and they're skating tomorrow morning, right?
Yep.
They are. Yeah. 8:00?
Yep.
8. So that'll be good, man. Should be a good one.
We just told Jay. He was pretty sad.
Yeah, Jay. It's almost over, Jay.
Season's almost there, Jay.
Jay, you met Jay.
Yeah.
So Jay is we always talk about Jay on the podcast, but we haven't probably for the last couple episodes. It's pretty funny.
Jay's the only guy in Rhino country not hoping for home ice advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's
right
good.
That. Definitely.
The poor bastard. He works, so hard. He's such a good dude. And I believe I have a pretty good sense of humor and personality, and it's hard to get me, I think. But he's one guy that can challenge that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he says some stuff. It's Diego. It'll make you like
Make you blush. Yeah.
It'll make you blush. Is like, oh God, who's around?
Yeah.
But he's comical and he's a good dude, man. And we're so happy to have that dude here. Old J Dog. Him and Archie were doing puck walk yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Archie got a little time in our practice too.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's buzzing around.
For future Rhino man.
There you go.
So this weekend, what are we expecting, Mikey? Obviously, Corpus is they're kind of at the top of our division. Coached really, really well.
Yep.
Primarily 20-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
They got some players.
They do. They're big. They're fast. They're skilled. They're not afraid of playing the physical game. They'll mix it up. I mean, they were part of that big line brawl in Lone Star.
Which did you guys Google that, by the way?
Yeah. I saw it right. Wow.
700 penalty
No,
minutes.
that's crazy. I've never seen something like that in my life, probably.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
It was wild. And so, I mean, these guys are more than willing. This has been their year, right? Like, this is the best season that they've had collectively as a group. And, they're going to be dialed in because the big thing for them is locking in second place, which gives them that first round bye, and Shreveport's right on their tail.
Home ice advantage.
Shreveport and Corpus play their last 2 games of the season against each other. So it becomes even more important for Corpus to come in and take a point or two, right? Or as many points as they can to kind of increase that separation and put them mathematically out of getting that bye. And so those guys are pushing. Sadly, they've been splitting the past 2 weekends and kind of struggling a little bit,
right?
Which means they're just going to come in even more fired up.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
The thing is, we have to slow them down. We have to slow them down off the rush because they have guys that are skilled that can make plays. And then one thing that they do probably better than a lot of teams that we've played is the way they shoot the puck off the rush. They can hit shots from deep. So if you're not gapped up enough, right, and you're just keeping them in front of you, they'll pull up and rip it, and they can put it, in a place to score. So
right, and we talk about last weekend with players stepping up and going outside the box, so to speak. Talk about Husey.
Oh man,
we won't get too into Husey, our goldtender. The young guy.
Yeah.
Who's such a
The one that got the shutout, right?
that guy.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's without saying too much, and we won't go into too much detail, but what do you do? I know what you do, but what do you do?
Well, I can tell you, I had a player in my office right now, and we were having a meeting, and it came up. We talked about how well Husey played, and we're looking at at our line chart on the boards, and he looks and he says, "Tell you what, Coach, I am not jealous of you for having to make that decision because that is a tough one." And I said, "Yeah, but what a lucky place to be for us, right?"
Happy problem, yeah.
Yeah.
You have this, Diego. You and I were talking about this last time I saw you when we were in Poland.
Yeah.
And if you remember during Christmas time, I was in Poland with the pre-Olympic qualifications with the national team, and
Yep.
starting goalie got called up to the USHL, our 1A, so to speak, got a Division 1, and he left at Christmas time. So we were shit out of luck with goaltending.
Mm-hmm.
And to be in this position, I would have never dreamt it.
No, especially to not only be in this position, but to also have one of them being able to return, not just for 1 year, but for 2 years, which is crazy. As an 06 in this league, in this division specifically, to be able to do what he's done it's impressive. And Saturday night, he was lights out. He was dialed in. He hasn't had a start in 8 games.
Wow.
We've been riding Hallahan pretty hard because he's been playing so well. And, I had a conversation with Husey, and one of the premise of the conversation was basically he wanted to see where we were at if we had lost faith in him. And I said, no. I said, it's a lot less about what you've done or haven't done and more about what the other kids do.
Right.
And, but just like the first time around when he waited and waited and waited for his opportunity, came in, shut the door against Amarillo, pitches a shutout, and then he comes back and does the same thing. And
As
so
a 17-year-old.
Yeah, and he's
pretty good.
He's impressive. I mean, the way he played, I mean, the guys clearly played, lights out in front of him, right? Like defensively, I mean, the buy-in was maybe the best it's been all season, right? Yeah. The way guys were blocking shots. I mean, when you have a Finnish kid who is on the top of the circle laying out with a kick save with his foot to block a shot at the end of a game, it's talk about the boys wanting to, get those 2 points. They felt do or die and they made it happen.
Yeah. And, like Hallahan is such a good teammate. Like he's obviously a veteran. You know what I mean? He's going to Army next year.
Oh yeah.
He's just an incredible kid. And, you know, when we got him at, you know, the deadline, you know, just with his situation coming off surgery and whatnot, you know, and when he came in his first game, we were all, you know, a little nervous, like, is it going to be okay?
Right.
And one of the first saves he did, he went, you know, east to west, and his hips were spread. And I'm like, he's fine.
Yeah, he's going to be all right.
He's fine. And, man, the freaking kid is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Know? Unbelievable.
And the only, like I told you, the only person happier than probably Husey about his shutout was Holohan. At the end of the bench, the kid was up all game every time he made a big save, just beating on the boards because that's the kind of kid he is. That's how they both are. It's quite the tandem.
Yeah, and that's very unique, right? Like, because you don't get that because it's such a competitive game. Yeah, right. You know, you deal with it a lot, right? Yeah. And you know, everybody wants to play, and I'm sure when one guy doesn't get the start or whatever, there's some disappointment, but it is what it is. And they just it's more about the logo and rather than individualism. So yeah, good for those guys.
Only one net, so
yeah, only one net. So it should be a good weekend. I know Friday night's going to be busy. Saturday, Mikey, I don't even know what to tell you. It is going to be packed in here.
Yeah,
like I'm stressing over it now, which is great. It's a great problem to have, but
I love it.
But to deal with what I'm dealing with now on Wednesday,
really,
yeah, man, yeah. So if you guys, any listeners out there, when you see this on Thursday, if tomorrow, if you don't get your tickets, you're not getting in. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. There's not a lot available. For Saturday. Friday, there's still tickets available. Saturday's going to be a good one.
This place was buzzing on Saturday.
Yeah.
Buzzing. I mean, it was loud in here. And I think, like, for me, for these guys, like, it helps. It helps, right? Definitely. Like, it gets them up. Like, it makes it harder on the visiting team. I don't care what anyone says. Like, yeah, guys like playing here on the road because you get to play in front of a crowd who doesn't like that. But if things aren't going well for you, it's the, and it's the seventh man for a reason, right?
We've gone through this. Like, not everybody can play well in front of a crowd.
No. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because there's a lot, you know, you get accustomed to it. But at the beginning, it's like, holy cow, like deer in the headlight kind of look, you know?
Yeah, it's not for everybody, that's for sure.
Definitely not. So, but it'll be a great weekend.
Yeah.
And, you know, it'll be a lot of fun. There's nothing better. You know, we talked about this yesterday about being in the playoff hunt. You know, the only thing that would make it easier is when you're battling for first place. You know what I mean? When you're in that mix and you're already in. But battling for, you know, fourth, fifth, and sixth spot, because it's all attainable, right? And down to the wire.
Yeah.
Man, it's fun, it's stressful, it's exciting. You know, all the emotions come into play, man. And it's cool. It's awesome.
Yes.
When you play 60 hockey games a season, you know, regular season, and your last 10 are just as meaningful as the postseason, it's pretty special. Like, no matter 100%. What the situation, it makes it a lot of fun.
You know, like we dealt with it with the NA3 team, and you know, frickin' we were out at Christmas time, and for those kids to buy in for the rest of the season, the coaching staff and everything, it says a lot. But different situation with the NA, man, and it's going to be fun hockey.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Too bad you can't stick around, Diego.
I know.
Too bad. I know.
Too bad.
I would love to stick around for that game.
So, you know, moving on, Diego, what do you got going on? Why can't you stick around, man?
Because we're going to the Women's World Championship April the 2nd. So we're leaving Mexico from Mexico City to Poland, and it's a really complicated tournament for us. It's pretty good level. We're gonna face Poland, Spain, obviously Mexico, Taipei. Who's the team?
Iceland's in,
and North Korea. That, believe it or not, they're good. Like,
yeah, no, it's good, and it's back in Poland.
Yeah, it's back in Poland, in Bytom.
Poland.
We gotta put things together for that trip. So that's
so
wait, North Korea?
North Korea.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And they're good, eh?
I didn't know that they participate in these kinds of events.
It's you know, IHA, like IIHF, like it's so cool. Like, it doesn't matter what level it is. I just think the way they do the tournaments and how it's exposed and just how it's put together is really, really cool.
Yes, it's a great experience for the players. A huge atmosphere. Like, doesn't matter where it is. Like, people will show on. You know, you get full crowds watching every game. So it's pretty intense and really nice tournaments.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Where's the host country again?
Poland.
Poland. So whenever you play Poland, it's just packed.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, and they get
Poland
into it.
It's really good. Like, they play on the European Women's Hockey League, which is probably the third top women's pro league in Europe. So they play as a team. They ended up last place, but still they play as a team against Finnish teams, Swedish teams, Czech teams. So they have what 2 or 3 players are.
Yeah, there's some good.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
The rink that they play out of, like I've been there twice. I'm not going to be able to make it this time, but is awesome.
it's awesome.
It's
It's,
a
a really
nice
nice arena. Yeah,
Really nice.
Wait, is your
facility.
daughter going to this
Yeah,
one?
she's going.
Nice. Okay. Keep her out of the box, dude.
she has to.
Well,
Ah,
that's a coach's problem.
That's my problem, man. That's why I have to go back right now to Mexico to figure that out.
Keep Cameron out of the box. She's gotten better though, man. Like we had this
She's getting
conversation
better. No,
yesterday.
yeah, believe it or not.
Yeah, she hasn't been suspended the last couple, which is good. That's
It's awesome. Finally, eh? It took us like 4 years or something.
4 years. Yeah.
She finally got to play every game at the place
every
she went.
game. Usually she gets to sit out one, but no, it's a lot of fun. So Diego, what do you do with the Mexican organization? What is your title? What is your role for those listeners?
Well, I'm the head coach of the Mexican men's national team, the women's national team, and this year I was coaching the U18 boys team too. We won Division 3A back in Mexico City. We were undefeated in the tournament, and now we're going to
Awesome.
go up to Division 2B next year. And then I have the women's, which will leave April the 2nd. The tournament starts April 7th. And then late May, I'm going to coach the men's national team too. So after that, I'm the technical director for the Mexican Ice Hockey Federation. So I basically oversee all the programs, tournaments, camps, everything. So that's what I do back home.
So
lot.
so you don't do much.
No, just a few things. You know how to
Just a few things. And you recently, well, not recently, you welcomed a new addition to your family.
Yeah, my daughter, Renee.
Congratulations.
2
Is she
years
on
old.
skates yet?
Yeah, of course.
Of course she is, right? And
No option for that. Like, she has
That's
to.
right.
Right.
And she loves it. Eh? Like every time I go home, he's like, Papa, hockey.
That's awesome.
She loves it.
And your wife is she's the captain of the national team. She's
Yes.
played many years, and she took the last tournament off. I do remember that, and it was felt. I believe that it was felt that and I'm glad that she's coming back.
Yeah, well, she's just
She just had the baby and everything, and I get it, man.
she's an amazing athlete. So everything, like any sport she picks, she's gonna be pretty good at it. She played for the Calgary Inferno of the Professional Canadian League some years ago. Now, she's getting old. She's 40 years old, so she's thinking about, is this my last game? Or so she said yes, it's gonna be my last one. But then for this tournament, she's coming back. We're gonna take Renee to the trip too, which is like a good luck thing for the team.
Right.
So the girls are asking for that. So hopefully it's gonna go the right way because she's still one of our top 3 players for sure.
Yeah.
Probably with Cameron and More, one of the other girls. But taking that up, like what he brings off the ice, just the leadership he brings to the table, it's a game changer for us. So hopefully we're gonna.
And she does, and you and I talked about that, Mike. You know this too. Like a team isn't anything without a leader.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, not to say that they don't have other leaders in there, but there's just something special about her with the way she leads and stuff like that, and everybody respects, which is what's needed.
No, for sure. Leadership, it's Mike, it's everything. Like especially in these games, like it's funny because you were talking about the last 10 games being super important for you guys, almost like a postseason game, and that's what a world championship is because you got 6 games in a week. So if you lose 1, you're going for the silver. If you lose 2, you're going for the bronze. If you're going 3, you're out of the medal. If you're going 4, you're now talking
Getting
about
relegated.
getting relegated. So it's like a 6 game 7s we're gonna play over there in Poland, and that leadership it's huge for that.
Yeah.
At some point, even more important than skills or whatever, right? So that's what Claudio's gonna bring to the table.
No, it'll be good. It'll be fun to watch. And fortunately, I won't be able to make it, nor my wife, but it'll be a lot of fun to watch online and do what you can to keep my kid in line, will you?
I'll try. I'll do my best.
But she absolutely.
Your kid is not easy to handle, but I'll try my best. I promise you. That.
No.
But like
Wonder where she gets it from.
Yeah, it's
I know.
her mom, man.
100%.
100%. But when you look at Cameron and some of these girls, you're like, wow, they play hockey.
Yeah.
Just because of the physical appearance and they're just so prim and proper, so to speak. And I don't know what it is, but as soon as you put the gear on, it's like the switch of light because there's a handful of them on the team.
All of them. They are nice and smiling all the time and just like, I don't want to say princess, but yes. And then suddenly they put the gear and their Mexican jersey and they become, I don't know, Aztec Warriors or something.
Yeah, something.
They are mean. No, I mean it. Like even in the women's hockey world, that they know the Mexican team as the team that it's like the hardest working team, and they are mean, and they're gonna battle.
Yeah.
So it's funny. Yeah,
It is fun, and they all get into it. And besides Cameron being my favorite player, obviously, Bertha. Hopefully, Bertha, you watch this because you're my favorite player besides my daughter. And so Bertha and Cameron have always been at it, especially at the beginning, right? And fun, but now Bertha's like a mother to Cameron. It's hilarious. And so whenever they go out or whatever, I always like, Bertha, make sure you take care of my kid. And it's just one of those running jokes. But when Bertha comes out on the tunnel and she's going on the ice and like I'm there, like I'm a true parent. I'm a fan. I'm standing up and I'm clapping Bertha and I'm cheering. She'll look at me like, but I try to embarrass her every single time. And she does a good job at, and keeps walking or whatever. It's funny. So Bertha, hopefully you watch this. I know you're gonna miss my cheers and me going for you, but I'm gonna be watching online. So hopefully that's worth something.
Yeah. Well, that's why you enjoy it that much.
It is.
You're finally a parent, and you get to
call you and bitch about ice time
you
and
get to do all the
this and
things that
that
you always complain about.
Absolutely.
You're doing them. So if you're listening to this, wow, you don't wanna meet Corey the parent, eh? Oh my God.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how to get rid of him, but it's I need Cameron, so I think I have to take it.
Right.
Yeah, you just deal with it. You just deal with
Well,
it.
it's a whole package, right?
Yeah,
you take Corey and Cameron, and you're not gonna
me.
get Cameron. So it is what it is.
Right, there you go. But I wish Mikey you the best of luck this weekend with
Thank
the big games, and Diego, I wish you the best of luck next week.
Thank you very much.
All the best, and appreciate you stopping by and jumping on. Hopefully we have
I'd
you
love
again.
to come
And
to El Paso.
we'll get some youth coming up next season, and
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
we can get the women's team down here to
Sure,
play some
would
games.
be, that would be awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, guys, best of luck.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody, with our friends from Truly Nolen. What's up, Roberto, Carlitos?
Hanging out, man, with you.
Yeah, just
Back again. This is your third time, right?
third time.
Emily's not here. She's on vacation. Thanks for, ditching us. I said I'd talk a little bit. It's easy to talk about people when they're not here.
Always, man.
Always.
I call those
We've been doing it all week.
right. When what is it when the cat's away, the mice will play?
Yes, sir.
Well, not in your guys' because you guys are bug guys.
We catch those guys.
You catch those dudes.
That's right.
So you can't be telling on each other.
Oh no, no.
But Emily, we miss you. These guys 45 minutes late. They weren't in work today.
Man.
They slacking off.
Yep.
I'm just teasing. Welcome back, guys.
We appreciate you having us back, Corey.
Well, the positive to this, Corey, at least the office is not on fire, so we're okay.
Right. Well, I appreciate you guys working with my schedule this week. We were supposed to tape this on Monday, and I apologize. I explained to you as to why, and it's whatever.
Things happen, Corey.
Things happen.
You're
It is
good.
what it is, and here we are. But we're back at it, man.
Yeah.
You got it, man.
Bug season.
Never stops, Corey. Never stops.
I know we talked about this in the last one. Obviously, there's a season for bugs. I would assume that it varies per species. I would think. I'm not an expert.
Well, believe it or not, with insects, there is no off season. They don't hibernate. They're active all year round. The fact is that, especially here in El Paso, weather is awesome, perfect. We get calls even in the cooler months, November, December. Not as many calls, but ants don't hibernate. They don't stop.
Right.
Roaches don't stop. Obviously, they're communal. So if they're able to come into the house or a commercial building, they're in the house. Right. They're in that building.
So why? I've asked this before, and I'll ask you guys again. Okay. Cockroaches. You see them more in the summertime than you do in the wintertime.
Well, I mean,
Riddle me that, Batman.
well, I'm going to go off of my trainer, which he's right next to you. And
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a rough one, but until he made me realize why, it's because you got all them insects that are outside all year round. Eventually, they make their way in during the summer months.
Right.
And he put it to me this way. Remember, they're like us. We want to be in a cool place. We want to be in a warm place.
Right.
So it's more visible in the summer when they're in the house.
That's a good way to put it, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? I never really thought about that.
Well,
I didn't think cockroaches are that smart.
No, they're not. It's just they understand two things. Look, when they're hungry, they're going to eat, and they also understand temperature. too hot, too
Right.
cold. What happens? What do? It's too hot.
Go
We
inside.
come in. Yeah, that's it. They don't know it's a house. They just know it's shelter. It's not like they're looking at that going, oh my God, it's.
Oh, let's go. Yeah.
They're just, they want to get out of the elements. That's all.
Nasty. That's bug season. But you guys are everywhere. What I mean by that, I was on social media. You guys were just on the news. You guys did you guys do a podcast?
Carlos does the
KTSM.
KTSM
Partners
Facebook.
with him too as well. Facebook
I saw that, but you guys were all there. This is much better than that, though.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I love
Great.
both
Look
of
at you
man.
dodge
It's
that
awesome,
politically
man.
correct crap.
It is awesome. Both of y'all.
Yeah. So you guys are everywhere, and we talked about the mascot event coming up.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun here at the rink.
It is. I'm looking forward to it, and again, being here in Rhino country.
It's the season's kind of tailoring off here. Our NA3 finished on Sunday was their last game, and hence why we pushed this back to today. But the NA team, we're right in the playoff hunt. I think we're in 6th place out of 9. Yeah. No. We're higher than that. But anyway, it's a battle for that last playoff spot, and we're right in the mix. So the games this coming weekend, well, all through the rest of the month,
Right.
they mean it.
Wow.
They mean it. Should be good, man.
Put the hammer down, as they say, man.
Sink or swim, man. You got to leave everything on the table. And you were a football player.
Yeah.
Your boy is now,
Yeah.
and he's the mascot of.
He's a mascot.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Does he when he's the mascot there with you guys? Does he act out of his normal character?
Yes. He is become. He becomes a different person. Completely different.
It's like a get out of jail free card.
I think so. Yeah.
But he's been doing this for so long, Corey. I mean, I've been with the company going on 11 years, and I remember 11 years ago, he was part of the group, man. He grew up in this business, in this industry.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
He basically, ever since I came on board with Truly Nolen 14 years ago, basically, he always said, Dad, I want to go work with you. And it's a funny story, but during the, right before COVID, we were doing a home show. That kid was selling his butt off, bringing me people and
That's
people.
awesome.
And Emily had made a bad bet that day.
Yeah.
She told everybody, whoever can sell anything at the home show gets $25. We walked home with $200 in our pocket that day.
Right on.
It's like,
So a little entrepreneur working hard, grinding.
yeah.
So I've always wanted to wear a mascot suit just because I think it would be fun. Just to, you guys know me a little bit more off
Sure.
the air than this. My personality, I'd go freaking bananas. I do a lot of crazy shit. I think.
bet, bro.
Yeah.
How much fun can you have in that thing?
I think you would have a lot of fun.
Was there a particular mascot you want to?
No, just I want to be that. Where so years ago there was this guy called Claude the Trumpeter.
Okay.
He was he primarily did hockey games. So it was my taste of my first season of playing professional hockey over at the Coliseum with the Buzzards. They brought in this Claude the Trumpeter, and he was extremely provocative. And I can't really get into Google him when you guys get a chance.
Okay.
Claude the Trumpeter. He's been everywhere, but he would just do funny shit. He'd dress up like a woman with hardly any clothing on and just do crazy shit. He'd be up on the glass just doing fun stuff, but it was just really, really entertaining. Probably that's why that was his career. And he would travel and go to different places and hockey events. And he was from Canada. And I don't remember. I'm sure he received obviously a stipend money when he was here, but I don't know if he was drinking before the game, during the game, after the game, or all day. But there was a lot of booze involved.
Well, there you go. Maybe that's why he was a great mascot.
I think it takes a special person to do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man,
So you guys were at the home event. That was probably a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks ago, or maybe a little bit longer.
3 weeks ago.
about 3 weeks ago.
How did that go for you guys?
It actually was
That's a
very
cool thing.
successful. Our branding really got out there. People were very excited to see us in a growth mindset, if you want to say, where in the past couple of years, we've only had 3-4 people there.
Yeah.
This time we had the whole crew out there. And
We had our mom's car there, and it's
That's
just,
awesome,
It's
too.
just amazing. People walking up to you and oh my gosh, I see that car everywhere. How awesome is that? And what a form of advertisement alone.
People, and I'm not saying it's silly, but people notice silly things. Like the Geico commercial. The little Geico with him talking, Liberty Mutual. Things that are like the Chihuahua. Like I can guarantee you that when the Chihuahua was named the baseball team, you guys are probably like, what the
Yeah.
I know I was. Now it's awesome. Everybody knows what the Chihuahuas are. So back to Truly Nolen, when that car's ripping around, people know that, and they want to probably take pictures with it. I would assume that's probably a big thing.
Yeah, we had a lot of pictures.
We a lot of times I remember when I would drive the mouse car, and I'd go to a restaurant and I'd look out the window and there's people taking pictures with the car.
Right on.
It's crazy, but it's awesome. I mean, they
Great
remember.
form of advertising.
It is. It really
So when you guys were at the home show, was that vehicle in the building?
Yep, we sure.
that's
We
good
had it
that-
inside. Yeah, we sure did. And people are taking pictures, checking it out. They're really amazed by the car.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And, you guys provide such a great service to the city of El Paso and the surroundings, and including here.
Yeah.
And it's, we appreciate it, and it's always fun, man.
Oh, we appreciate you, man.
So what do you guys got coming up? Anything cool? Any events?
Well, we have the mascot
Yeah.
event coming up next week. And then we take a little bit of a break. And then we're going to start on some events in May, which is Bug Fest.
The zoo.
At the
Are you
zoo.
doing that again?
Every year, we sponsor that. So every year, you're going to be there.
If you talk to them, let them. We'd be interested in doing that again.
Yes,
That was. We're gonna cook,
talked
right?
about you cooking. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Yeah, I think I've got you penciled in to be in the cook-off, man.
Perfect. We're in, man. We're in. I thought that was just a great event, and the education on the bugs and like how you can eat them. Like,
But you've been there. Aren't you amazed at all these people? They just want to try this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They're shocked and
the place was packed.
and there's 2 shows, so they're packed both shows. It's like it's amazing to me. I never thought about it until I got here, and I'm like, you know what? These guys want to try this. They'll try anything.
Yeah.
But cooking is different. So I don't know what we're gonna cook with this year, but
I don't know. We'll have fun.
yeah.
But that's a great event, and just the education that you guys provide for the kids. That's what it's about, right? We have fun, and you guys cook and make faces when you're eating and stuff like that. But it's an educational thing.
Well, it's like when we do a career day at a school,
Yeah.
and we're talking to the kids about our bugs and everything and how we do things. But believe it or not, it's the teachers, and when we do events, it's the adults that are asking.
So when you
More questions.
when you go to the events or schools or whatnot, do you educate them on the bug itself, or the chemicals that get rid of them, or both, or a mixture?
So
I would-
when we've done some of these events, we don't necessarily talk about the materials that we
Right.
use. We do talk about the insects. We talk about different types of insects. There's good insects, and then there's some bad insects. And what I mean by that is, I'll ask the kids, so what do you think is a good insect? Well, they start thinking about it, and typically bees, right? Well,
Yeah.
what do bees do? They pollinate. What else do? They make honey. What's a bad insect? Well, spiders. Well, yeah, they can be bad, right? Of course, we don't want them in the house. But what do? They eat other bugs. So you have to tie all that in together. You give them some good information, and they start to understand that not every bug.
Not every bug is
Yeah.
bad. Like what about no, a gecko's not a bug,
Nope.
but are they good for it?
Well, yeah. Why? Because they eat other bugs.
Right.
Lizards as well. We've had people call us. Hey, what do you do for that? Like nothing. They're
Leave them.
your allies. We understand they don't want them in the house, but they're outside doing their thing.
And the little geckos that are ripping around, because everybody has them in their household at some point, in or outside. But we have them, and I leave them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're ripping around. They don't do any harm.
Yeah, they're our competition, actually.
I bet they are.
Yeah.
But so you get to educate the kids, and that's obviously a big part of it. And like you said, the parents or the teachers are the ones that are really getting informed and inquire a lot of different things, because not all bugs are bad, man.
Not all bugs, man.
What's the worst bug out there, in your guys' opinion?
Well,
Most the deadliest and the most harmful to your home.
Well, in this part of the country, we have, of course, we have black widows, scorpions for sure. And the thing with that type of bug is, people, of course, will ask me, oh, my God, if I get stung, will I die? And the fact is, listen, that's extreme. I've not heard of somebody passing away, but it'll be, harmful. It'll hurt. For myself, I think if I got stung, I'm sure it'll hurt. but more,
Well, at your age,
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
Come on now.
At his age,
Well, I think
anything's harmful.
I think I've been bit and stung by everything, so I think I'm immune at this point. But infants, elderly people, yeah, you want to be careful. But again, that's why we go out to the house, do an inspection, and we try to make that house as pest free as possible.
Right. Like when I came down from Canada, like I think I told the story when we went to the locker room. There was this big bug ripping around, and I'm like, "What the heck is that?" And they're like, "It's a cockroach." I'm like, "It was freaking massive,
Like armored.
You know what I mean?" I'm like, "What is that?" And then scorpions, obviously up north, I wasn't accustomed to them, and you see one and you run away because you think the world's coming to an end, but the reality is it's not.
I'm curious. Now that you mentioned that, so in Canada, what do you see? I mean, obviously
Mosquitoes, man.
Beer.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes, beer.
Beer. Oh, okay, well,
Mosquitoes are
Mosquitoes,
really
yeah.
bad.
yeah, we
And
have
they
that too as well.
they're massive.
Well, bigger than the ones here in El Paso.
Oh yeah.
Good gosh.
They're
Okay.
huge.
And black flies.
Okay.
But I can deal with really anything. Like nothing really, like as far as insects, I don't. But freaking mosquitoes, man. I who likes them? But I
And of course, we have a service for that as well.
Yeah.
You name it. We pretty much have that. I mean, mosquito, insect, rodent. Again, these things just never stop. Mosquito, yeah, it's
seasonal.
Yeah, but again, it's starting to, it's starting to get warmer.
What's
and
the best way to get rid of black flies? Not have dogs.
Well, no, that won't solve it either. Actually, what I've learned is that there's got to be a water source nearby,
Right.
and it's really not having that around your home
Sure.
as much as possible. But is it a preventative? That's the difficulty on it, because it is a flying insect.
Right.
Flying insects, there's no 100% sure way of eliminating them. And unfortunately, the one thing that we are going to look for is what is the conducive condition for it.
Right.
It's usually a water source.
And that's good to know, right? Like we have a couple dogs and we have a courtyard, and it just, and we keep it clean, like, you know what I mean, of the dogs
Sure.
Stuff. But, and obviously flies are attracted to that because that's whatever. But, we try to keep it clean, but they just seem to freaking everywhere you turn, there's flies. For us anyway.
Doing that will help reduce some of the activity. Having some type of service, our services will help as well. But
Yeah.
the fact is, like Robert said, it's a flying insect. They're always going to be there. And let's just say you do clean your yard every day. What about the neighbors?
Yeah.
What if they have dogs and maybe they don't maintain that yard as well as you
Sure.
do? So you're always going to have that battle.
Yeah. I guess there's nothing, permanent per se.
Right.
Do you guys deal with any, obviously this is kind of out there, snakes or anything? Do you guys get calls on that?
We get an occasional call here and there for snakes. More in a newly developed areas, for example, the Trans Mountain area on
Yeah.
the west side.
Commercial.
They're developing so fast that, are we really eliminating anything? And of course, your snakes are going to follow your field mice. So there's a complete process there for them.
So we do have a program, and the fact is you don't eliminate them. You just kind of keep them at bay. So again,
Relocate?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't think I'll be touching any snakes anytime soon. Although I've encountered a few, but we do have a material that based on the inspection we'll put around either a commercial business or if we have to around a home, and it'll just kind of keep them at bay.
Right. I live next to an arroyo, and this is probably 5-6 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. I'm here at work, and my wife calls. She's like, "There's a snake in the side yard." I'm like, "Why are you calling me?" Because it could be a little garter snake. I'd be the first dude out of here. I'd fight a bear before relocating a snake. I'm deathly afraid.
So that's
of them.
like your phobia then.
Oh my God. So I said, "Where is it?" She's like, "No, I don't know. I came back in the house." I'm like, "Oh my God." So of course my daughter, she's like, "Well, let's go home. Let's go home. I want to see the snake." I'm like, "What the fuck?" So we get home, and in the driveway to the right is the side yard or whatever. And I'm like, I'm staying in my truck because I don't know where this freaking
Don't
thing
tell
is.
me you sent your daughter out, man.
So my daughter jumps out.
Gosh.
And she's like, and then my wife came out and she's like, "Where's the snake? Where's the snake?" And right as, the commotion between us, I'm still in my truck. Snake kind of comes through the gate, and it had to have been like that thick, right? So it was a pretty good sized snake. And it was maybe maybe 3 feet long, 4 feet long, and it was really colorful. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh my God. And my daughter's like, let's kill it with your hockey stick. I'm like, no. I'm like, freaking yeah, let's go.
Do it.
And my wife is like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, and the snake was starting to go across the yard, like the outside yard to the arroyo. So of course, you know, me, the tough guy that I am, I grabbed my longest stick that I have, and I have a picture of it. I grabbed this thing like with the blade of my stick, and I flung it towards the arroyo, and it had to have been like 20, 30 feet in the air, and it flew across, and this is all on video, and you can see it hit the trees and shit and stuff in the arroyo, and it's kind of hanging, and then it falls, and I'm like, it was comical. But I'm deathly afraid of snakes.
I don't know why I had a picture in my head of you giving these directions while you're in your truck.
Right.
Go ahead, honey.
No, yeah, you can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, I have faith in you.
But I wanted to freaking tee off on it with my stick, but my wife is better than I am, and we didn't.
And ever since then, nothing.
No,
So
that's
far, that you know, right?
That was that I know of. I would assume the dogs deter a lot, with the noise and everything. Them ripping around. I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, let us know, man. I mean,
But yeah.
we'll go out there, check it out.
Yeah, for sure. So what are you guys both coming to the game in a couple weeks?
I know.
better be.
Well, I'll be here. Yeah.
Are we slated? I'll come out here. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are we slated?
If not, we will get slated out here.
We'll
Yeah, I'm gonna say, hey, make sure those 2 dudes are here.
See, it's over. Yeah, I guess we're gonna
That'll
be
be fun.
We're gonna be voluntold.
Voluntold. Yeah. So that weekend, we'll get you guys on the Razor.
Hey,
Yeah.
I can dig it, man. Yeah. And who's driving this Razor?
We'll find somebody.
Oh gosh,
I'm the guy. I'm the driver, man.
there we go. Man, that's
Are you going to be boozing before, after, or during the game?
During.
Okay.
Both. All of the above. No. It's with the Razor that we do it every game or whatever. I've been doing it for I don't know how many years, but it is one of the biggest focal. Like people will start texting me and emailing me like on a Monday, Tuesday. Hey, can I get on? Can I get on? Can I get on? People love it.
Oh man, the times that I've been here and the crowd just goes crazy. They're up there, they're waiting for that T-shirt.
And it's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing it, and we get to have people in it and let them experience what it is, and everyone's a little curious as to what it's going to feel like when you're in there. I don't want to ruin it for you.
No.
That I don't.
I'll make sure to hang on to something.
I think I got a good idea.
So this past weekend on Saturday, I was telling the guys. Usually, I turn to my left, right? When I spin, for whatever reason, I do that, and I have a lot more. It seems like a lot more sense, control, whatever. For whatever reason, I turn to the right, so I was spinning the opposite way, clockwise. And when I was getting close to the end, I'm like, I was kind of lost my whatever, and I'm like, holy cow!
Your bearings were off?
I'm going to go through the freaking boards. So I let off, and it seemed like we were a lot closer than what we were, but I was probably 3 or 4 feet away from it, and that's close in my world. Yeah. And I was like, God dang.
I ain't doing that no more.
And I was dizzy because I don't get dizzy, but I was dizzy. I'm like, God dang. It was crazy.
And it wasn't the booze, right? It
was not the booze, man.
Just making sure.
Wasn't the booze, but I'll never do that again. But it'll be fun. We'll get you guys on.
Yeah. Awesome.
And, that's in a few weeks away. And I appreciate you guys stopping by and jumping on again and talking about the bug world.
Awesome.
And being flexible. Again, I appreciate that. And Emily, they did a good job. Too bad you bailed on us.
And for all you people out there, of course, this is the time of the year. Give us a call. Give us a call. We'll go out there, send an inspector, and, of course, we'll take care of any of your needs, all of your needs, pest control-wise.
Well, we appreciate it, guys. And, give Truly Nolen a call, guys. All your services are needed, and they're wonderful guys.
Yeah, and last thing I got to say is, hey, let's get out here in Rhino Country and let's turn it up.
Let's do it.
Season's coming to an end here. 4 weeks left of regular season, playoff bound, and here we go, people.
That's right.
Again,
season
guys,
isn't over.
Season is not over. Playoffs are coming. Yeah. Thank you guys both for jumping on. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Corey.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Corey.
you having us on.